So, welcome to Probe the Act on Deepstuff Radio and Deepstuff TV with myself, dRem TGI, and 2 times Grammy Award winner, 4 times Platinum, Arrested Development, aka Mr. Speech. Honestly, these guys are my youth. I grew up listening to this guy. So, just tell me really quick, sir, how did you get started in music?
Really, my dad owned a nightclub. And when I was around 10, I used to go to it every day after school and just fell in love with seeing how powerful music was to the people dancing on the floor, you know. And I wanted to do that. I wanted to be part of that movement. And I started becoming a DJ at age 13 and started spinning at the nightclub at 13 and just started going from there, man, and just fell in love with it more and more.
Honestly, I can't believe I'm interviewing you, man.
That's cool, man. I appreciate that love.
I'm starstruck, man. I'm starstruck, honestly. Yeah, I am, yeah. So tell us about this new singles, Don't Fight Your Demons.
Yeah, that's our new album. And I'm so proud of this record, bro. It's, first of all, one of the biggest producers on the record, and the executive producer with me on the record is from the UK. His name is Configure. Oh. And so, yeah, a lot of UK energy, you know, coming off on this record. But it's a full-length album, and it's our best record since the 90s. I mean, fans are telling us that all around the world, and I'm really grateful. It's a really good time for us as a group, because a lot of times people write off groups that have been around as long as we have, and especially since we haven't been out with albums that have been accepted like this one has. So I'm really grateful to the fans. I'm really grateful that we're making some music that's captivating people's imaginations right now. And I'm 52 years old. So for me as a hip hop artist, I want to bring like an elder statesman type of vision to hip hop and hopefully make people entertained again. And that's what's happening with this new record.
Wow. I love it. I listen to it and I can still feel it takes me back in time, when I listen to it. I was like, I can still feel the real, because the way that you've been able to evolve to the new generation, but still keeping your originality. Honestly, it's really brilliant. I love it. I love it so much.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
We're going to be spinning it on the radio and mentioning you, man. That's good.
So that's one of the main goals as an MC, like to try to be contemporary, but at the same time be authentic to, the era that I come up in, and just really be authentic to hip hop the way that I feel it should be. And this record does that. So I really appreciate you saying that, man. Thank you.
Yeah, it does. It does, honestly. And I listen to it, I can still feel, because I watched the video and it was still carrying the old, the old radio and walking around. I was like, whoa. I could just picture me as a kid just watching it and going, this guy's a great man. One of your documentaries that I really enjoyed was, I think it was 3 days and a half in the life of Arrested Development. Do you remember that? Okay. Back in the days, yeah.
Wow. I don't remember that one. What was it about? Maybe
It was a kind of a documentary, but it was like you.
Okay.
It was like you guys just talking about, And I really,
yes. I remember. I think MTV did that one. It is great. Yeah. It's very good. Very good. I love that.
I really enjoy that. So, when you write a song as an artist, some people write to the beat and some people write from the beat. What's that process for you?
I do it always. So like sometimes I just write ideas because I live a lot of normal life. So like I go around doing stuff with my family or, hanging with friends. And so a lot of times I get ideas from just being around, and then there's no beats, but I just write down lyrics and write down concepts. Then there's other times when I hear a beat and either I make the beat or I hear a beat and it moves me. Like just hearing the music makes me think about some of the things that I should write about. So it happens for me both ways. And I always feel like writing is such a spiritual, really, because we don't, as writers, we really don't know where our ideas come from. It's way beyond us. And so it's really cool. I love the way, we were created as human beings to be able to do this, like to be able to create music from nothing. It's an amazing process. I still am amazed by it myself.
Yeah, it's a special gift, isn't it?
It is. It is a gift, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, how do you feel about music these days? Because when Mr. Wendell was released and Everyday People, I think people were still buying cassettes. People probably
cassettes. We buying cassettes, CDs, vinyl records.
Yeah, just moving into CDs and stuff like that. But these days, it's like most things are consumed via streaming, aren't it? So how's that process? Is it been a smooth transition for you, or have you?
I think that's a great question. First of all, it's been jolting for us because everything has changed in the music industry. We used to record with a 2-inch reel on tape, analog, no digital, anything. And then it moved to digital. Everything got smaller. We're now able to make a record on our laptop. And as far as the fans, they're hearing it from streaming services on little AirPod, or little small ear pods. And it's a different listening experience. So I've gotten used to it now because it's been a while, but it was a lot of getting used to and a lot of just surrendering to where the music industry has happened to go to. Some of it I really love. And then some of it, I think the new generations are missing out on some of the magic that we experience. So I have mixed feelings about how the industry is today. But I will say, as far as the content of music that's out, there needs to be a lot more balance for the sake of hip hop music, balance in lyrics and content, just like so that all our expressions as Black people are able to be out there in the music, because our music should reflect our lives and our journeys. So I feel like the balance is a little off, or really, really off, or at least in the United States. I'm not sure exactly how it is in the UK, but that's what I wish. I wish there was more balance, a lot more control of hip hop from the hip hop lovers and DJs and fans of real hip hop, instead of corporate people controlling what gets out there in the mainstream, what people are going to be listening to. So those are things I'm a big proponent of fighting for.
Yeah. I mean, without getting too political, because we don't want to get into that, but the message in your music, it's got a little bit of a political undertone, isn't it? So where does that come from?
I mean, I think politics are so important. All politics is issues that matter. And so everybody has issues that matter to them. And that's why they should get involved with politics. Now, I don't believe politics are the answer for everything. So I speak on spirituality, I speak on personal accountability, and I speak on political things. I do speak on all of that. I think I was raised that way. My mom and dad are activists. My mother owns the biggest Black newspaper in Wisconsin. Wisconsin is a very influential state in the United States. Right now, the elections are going on, and Wisconsin's one of the big states that will determine which candidate wins this election. And Black people are doing the worst in any other state throughout the United States in Wisconsin. So I grew up in a very tense environment, racially tense and politically tense. So a lot of that seeps into the music that I make,
It is, yeah. And you deliver that very well without being biased or anything, because, that's really good. I love the message. Tell us about Mr. Wendell.
Yeah.
Is it
Mr.
real?
Wendell so Mr. Wendell in and of itself is not a real person, but the song is based on a lot of homeless people that I knew. So me and my man Headliner, my best friend at the time, we used to hang out with homeless people at one of our studios that we would go to. And we learned a lot from these guys, and we became close with them. So the song Mr. Wendell was really about sort of a conglomerate of different dudes that we met over time. And I'm really proud of that song. We donated half of the proceeds for that song. And that was our biggest song in the 90s. We donated half of the proceeds to the National Coalition for the Homeless, which is an organization that helps homeless people. So I'm really proud of what we were able to do through music, but also through activism with that song.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So just tell us really quickly where we can find you on social media and how we can find your music.
Yeah, everybody go get the record, Don't Fight Your Demons. We also released a brand new single that's a standalone single called Anya. And all of that you could get at brotherspeech.com. brotherspeech.com. And everything is there. We're all over social media too, speech__ on IG, on Twitter, and Facebook and so on. But brotherspeech.com is pretty much the place where everybody can go.
Brilliant. So this is a concluding part, speech, where you get to give shout out to anybody at all. Go for it.
Well, I want to give a shout out to my crew, Arrested Development. I want to give a shout out to Configure right there in the UK. I want to give a shout out to my queen, my wife, 30 years together, my 2 kids, Jahi and Zoe. And I'll give a shout out to my staff because I have a small staff that helps me with everything I do. So Sister Tiffany, Mike, and Yolanda. So I just want to give shout out to all of them. And of course, to the people that supporting us. Thank you. We can't do what we do without y'all. So thank you so much.
And thank you for this interview. I've been dRem TGI, and we've been talking to Speech Thomas of Arrested Development. You've been watching Deepstuff TV and Deepstuff Radio. Have a lovely week now. So let me just pause the record.